Now let's just move on further and see some of the problems that are related with the concept. So the very first question says, draw different pairs of circles. How many points does each pair have in common? What is the maximum number of the common points? So let's just start with the answer for this one. And for this we have to draw the different pairs of the circle that may intersect at one point, may not intersect each other, may intersect at 2 points. So let's just see what are the different pairs we can form over here. So let us suppose if I'm just forming up these two circles. I'm starting with the pair of these two circles. So as you can see, these two circles do not have a common point at all. Let us suppose this is nothing but O, this is nothing but O dash. So as you can see over here, this is the very first pair, and the two circles do not have a common point. They do not have a common point. They do not have a common point. As you can see, they do not have a common point at all. So this is the very first case in which I have drawn a pair of a circle in which there is no point in common at all over here. So let us suppose if I can again form the circle. Let us suppose this is the very first circle that I can form, having the center as O, and let us suppose if I'll just form another circle over here, such that its center is nothing but this O dash. Again you can see that for this type of a circle, they do not have a common point. Again, they do not have a common point. So for this particular point, they do not have a common point again at all. Now let us suppose if I'm just moving on further and I'm drawing the two circles in such a way that they are intersecting each other at a particular point. So let us suppose this is the first circle that I'm taking. Let us suppose this is the circle that I'm forming up. This is my first circle, and let us suppose if I'm calling it as a circle having the center at O, and let us suppose if I'm just taking another circle such that it is intersecting this circle at only one point, such that you can see over here that they do have 1 point in common. They have 1 point in common. And let if I'm calling that common point as nothing but P. So this is the case number 3rd in which I have drawn a pair of a circle in which they have only one common point, which is nothing but this. And in the same way, if let us suppose if I'm moving on further and I'm just drawing another circle, and again I'm drawing another circle in such a manner, then again you can see over here that if these are the two circles having the center as O and having the center as O dash, then they do have a common point over here, which is nothing but P. Let us suppose this is the 4th point, and you can see over here that again they have one common point over here. They have one common point when the two circles are drawn in such a manner. So this is the 4th case. Now let us suppose if I'm moving on further and I'm talking about the two circles having the point of intersection as, let us suppose this is the first circle that I'm drawing, and this is nothing but the 2nd circle that I'm drawing. Now you can see over here that for these two circles, if I'm taking the radius as the center as O, and I'm taking the center as nothing but O dash, then for the 5th case we can see that they have 2 points in common. 2 points in common. They have 2 points in common, and what are those? This is nothing but the point P, let us suppose, and this is nothing but the point Q. So for the 5th case, you can see that these two circles, when are intersecting with each other, they have 2 points in common at all. So these are the different kinds of the pairs of the circle that we can form, and these are the 5 cases that we have seen in which we have the maximum number of the common points in between the two circle is nothing but 2. As you can see, we cannot form the two pairs of the circle in such a way that they have 3 points in common, because this is the maximum number of the points or the point of intersection in between the two pairs of the circle. So the answer for the last question would be like, what is the maximum number of the common points? The maximum number of the common points of intersection must be nothing but 2 over here or 2 over here. So this is nothing but all about the question number 1.